I appreciate the vast public input we've had thus far. I believe it is healthy for our residents to be as engaged as they are in this dialogue. Keep in mind, we have not even voted to introduce this contract on the council yet. Each of us, as well as the administration, have made clear we want multiple public hearings spread out over time prior to having a vote to even introduce this. That is exactly what we have done thus far. I've paid close attention to the questions and concerns from residents and have followed up on my own as well. One of the most common questions being related to the duration. I too certainly challenge and question the perspicacity of the administration for writing up to 40 years in the initial request for proposal. However, I also recognize the complexity and magnitude of what is being proposed. Understand that I will be 70 years old when this potential contract is finished. Quite frankly, I will be held accountable by my friends as well as your sons and daughters for the rest of our lives. Needless to say, I'm taking this very seriously and will not be rushing into any vote. That insinuation by anyone is blatantly false. What's being suggested right now, tonight, is a non-binding referendum. I implore the public to recognize what this vote is and actually means. A non-binding referendum is essentially a public opinion poll for politicians to kick the can of important decisions down the line. Edison needs our leadership. Grandstanding and fueling debates for non-binding public opinion polls is exactly, absolutely not why we were elected. We were elected to be leaders, to make hard, tough decisions and serve Edison through public policy decisions after doing extensive due diligence. I can confidently say I'll know more about sewer and water pipes than I've ever wanted to know. If this were to pass, I question how many of the thousands of pages of independent consulting data we would expect voters to read on our sewer and water systems. Thus far, I have consulted with officials throughout New Jersey that have both public and private systems that have accepted, rejected, or negotiated with Suez, as well as other partnerships. I'm also engaged in extensive dialogues with the attorneys, consultants, financial advisors, engineers, and employees from our own public works department to understand the complex and intricate details of the needs of our infrastructure. There are numerous engineering-specific capital expenditure and financial questions that are being weighed. Some of these have led to comparing the analysis for alternative options. These conversations have been productive and will allow me to make sound decisions. This is the type of dialogue that each of us have been elected to be engaged in. Understand, if I'm not comfortable with every single aspect of this contract, I would rather vote no than support a nonsensical, highly politicized, and costly public opinion poll. I will only support a well-thought and justifiable plan for decades to come. I encourage some of my council colleagues to exercise our ability as elected officials to meet and negotiate concerns privately in lieu of asking questions that require multifaceted answers during a public forum. That, to me, is grandstanding. Discussions would simply be more efficient. The blitz that occurred last night of requesting a non-binding public opinion poll without showing the majority of the council is a flawed approach to practical and good governance. We should not accept our infrastructural needs from becoming a political football. We should not accept a non-binding political public opinion poll from replacing our fiduciary responsibilities. What we need right now is to take ownership of why we were elected and be the exact leaders that Edison needs right now.